Welcome back to the Valley Boys Digimon TCG. I'm CK. So today we're celebrating the 4th of July, and with that I figured I'd go over the most America monster we have out there, MegaGargomon. MegaGargomon is a big missile monster, very America. So we have a profile to go over, but first we're going to start you off with a little gameplay footage. Now the gameplay is going to be against D-Reaper. D-Reaper is a very popular deck that came out with EX02. It's a very budget deck, but it's still very competitive, and there's a lot of different ways to spice it up. You have black version, yellow version being the predominant one. There's red splash. There's so many different ways you can build D-Reaper, but this isn't about D-Reaper. This is about MegaGargomon, and if MegaGargomon can keep up with D-Reaper. Let's find out right now. Okay, to start things off, our opening hand does not look great. We do not have a tamer, but we have 2 rookies, so we can go ahead and set up for a tamer. This Terriermon does help. If you do play a tamer, you gain 1 memory, so that's a nice little effect. So potentially having 2 on board for the next turn could help there. So of course, Mother Reaper's just going to do her searcher things, set up to start absorbing for the next turn. And we still don't have anything, so we're just going to start building. There's nothing they can really do against us. The Reaper deck kind of plays its own style, kind of plays to its own paces, trying to get up and build enough pieces to do the Reaper push. So we're just going to go ahead and continue building. Now unfortunately we can't take advantage of this Rapidmon's effect, which is to suspend a Digimon if you have a tamer in play. And as you see, we still don't have a tamer. We finally draw one on the Evo, which is unfortunate because we missed the opportunity to get the effect off. So instead we just Evo into the other 1-cost Gargomon, and then hopefully next turn we'll be able to set up our Henry Tamer. Now, because of Reaper's reduced costs and stuff like that, it's able to do a lot of shenanigans, but it ends up kind of costing him because when he goes for the Tamer play here, he gives us enough to play our Tamer and kind of do our things. So right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and play that Henry Tamer. So when we swing, we tap Henry to suspend another Digimon, and now we can start clearing out some of his Digimon. Now, all these inherited give basically all my Digimon boosts. We'll Digivolve and Raising to get another draw off, and then we'll go into the MegaGargomon so that we can suspend and freeze one of their Digimon, which will give us a little more aggro the next turn. Now, of course, Mother Reaper is going to keep absorbing and growing as she goes. That Jerry is such a pain to get around. The best strategy, I would say, is to try to get rid of those Jerrys and Searchers as quick as you can. But would you know it, they Spiral Masquerade our big boy away. So there goes some of our tempo. But it's not over, because you see we have the Golden Rapidmon. Now we can suspend and essentially clear board. Of course, Mother's going to stick around. We can't do anything to her, but we have some plans for her. So now we set up the big MegaGargomon. Now I know it's a lot of memory to pass over, but his effect is pretty good and clearing out anything they want to set up. So if he gets some more Searchers on board or gets another Jerry, the MegaGargomon effect to swing, tap our Tamer to suspend something, and then return something suspended to their hand is a big thing. And we go ahead and get an extra draw by Evo and Raising, and would you know it, we get the Chaosmon. So this is where the combo goes off. So we attack with Rapidmon and Security. We're not going to check anything because of the Gatekeeper, but we use the Henry effect to tap Gatekeeper and MegaGargomon to attack Gatekeeper. This way next turn we can do some damage, but actually we're planning on doing some damage this turn. Now that we've suspended something, we have a 16k Chaosmon boosted, and that erases that Mother Reaper with 6 sources underneath. One more turn and she would have been a real problem. That completely shuts down Mother's tempo, and now it's basically going to be all MegaGargomon because she's going to have to start from scratch. So you see, we're just going to go pretty wide here, build up a pretty big board. Which, of course, that Gummymon is so good in this deck. You see that Terriermon inherited and the new Gargomon inherited give so much And now that blue card, this is a tech that I'm testing out, and it works nicely here because basically you're paying 3 costs to digivolve into the 5 costs MegaGargomon, and you get his effect off, although there was nobody to suspend at the time. So blue card's not a bad card, it feels a little gotcha. And then we're just throwing in the Kalumon just because we can, but essentially we've locked it down now. There's not much he can do to block us out, aside from, well, blockers themselves, which he tries to set up here. You'll see we've got 2 blockers come in from this Mother Reaper. But we forget our Henry effect, so we'll use a Flower Cannon to suspend 1. That suspension cues all my inheriteds. We'll swing with Chaos through the other one. And then when swinging with another Digimon, we'll suspend the blocker, we'll bounce with MegaGargomon's effect. He dies, but it's over.
MegaGargomon is viable to beat D-Reaper. Of course, you have to have the right setup, but Chaosmon itself can swing right over it, as you saw, and of course all the inherited boosts that come with the new Terriermon line. So let's go ahead and go through the profile.
Alright, to start off this deck profile, we're going to start with the eggs. We're going to run the 4 Gummymon, the new egg in EX02. Such a good effect, especially for this deck. It's basically designed for it. Whenever one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended during your turn, draw 1. Great draw power. It has great synergy with the Henry Tamer since we're running all Gargo and Rapidmons in this deck. Such a good egg. And then we're going to run 1 Argomon just to have a 5th egg. It's debatable nowadays whether you need a 5th egg. So many decks, so many games run so fast that you probably won't run the 5th egg. But in green decks you kind of do because of the Mimi Tamer. Well, I guess spoiler alert, we are running Mimi in this deck as well for a 2nd Memory Tamer. And she warrants running a 5th egg. Now going over the rookies, obviously we're going to run Terriermon. Terriermon is needed to make our Golden Rapidmon cheaper. And all the Terriermons actually have some pretty decent effects. Obviously, we're going to run the classic Terriermon from BT3, the memory blocker. Cancel out any of your memory boosts, hammer sparks, gravity crush, cards like that help them gain memory for their combos. Then, of course, we have the Terriermon that came out recently in BT8 that states on play you can reveal the top 5 cards. Add 1 with Gargomon or Rapidmon in its name among them. So this is our little searcher piece, so we can get whatever piece we're missing, whether it be Gargomon, Rapidmon. Anything that isn't Terriermon essentially is a Gargomon or Rapidmon, with the exception of the 1 Argomon that we play, which you saw in the gameplay. We do play 1 level 5 Argomon just because he's still a great little card to have in any green deck, I would say. Next we have the new Terriermon that came out with EX2. He has the effect that states your turn, once per turn, when you play a green tamer, gain 1 memory. We're running all green tamers, and tamers are kind of essential for what we do, so having him on board, playing the tamer, making the tamer cost 1 less, great little effect. And then his inherited is really what's going to help us for the Reaper matchup, or really any matchup. His inherited is also very important, 1 for any matchup to get boosted, but it also helps us get rid of Reaper, as you saw in the gameplay. Having that extra 2k boost helps Chaosmon get rid of Mother, which completely changes the game. So that inherited being on your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, gain plus 2k DP. That's a pretty big boost, and it's pretty easy to pull off because Henry states whenever we swing with a Gargo or a Rapidmon, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Finish off the rookies, we're running 1 Kalumon. Kalumon also has this effect where when you would play this card from your hand, reduce its play cost by 2 if you have a Guiomon, Terriermon, Renamon, or Impmon in play. Typically we're going to have a Terriermon on board. Usually I like to leave a memory blocker on board, so that would make him a 1 cost play. Now he can't attack, but he's a good play to memory choke your opponent, just a 1 cost Digimon to play. He gives you something to target if you want to tap something else for Argomon plays, for your Digizorption Argomon, or of course his main effect, which is your turn. When one of your Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this Digimon to gain a memory and draw a card, and have one of your Digimon get plus 3000 DP for the turn. So, another DP boost. Having him on board when going for the Chaosmon plays ensures that you can go in and pierce through just about anything on board, especially Mother. We're going to play, obviously, Gargomon. We're playing 4 of the new EX2 Gargomon and 2 of the old BT3 Gargomon. The new EX2 Gargomon has the effect, when this Digimon would digivolve, if you have a green tamer in play, reduce the digivolution cost by 1.
which means all our level 5 Digivolutions are 1 cheaper. Then his inherited effect is the same as the EX2 Terriermon effect. We're also running the 2 BT3 Gargomon just because he's a cheap 1 cost Evo. He could be a 0 cost Evo if Kalumon is on board. And then his inherited your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. The new MegaGargomon from EX2 can suspend a few Digimon and keep them suspended, so he could get a big DP boost from this one. Now the next level 4 Digimon we're going to run, of course, is the Armor Rapidmon. Golden Armor Rapidmon is so good. He's become a staple in yellow hybrid decks now. Yellow Rapid Hybrid has been a pretty big deck in the previous meta, and it's probably still going to be around for a while. I'm sure he's still out there, so he's still really relevant. And especially because he's 1 cheaper to Digivolve. He Digivolves for 3 on a Terriermon. The Armor Purge is great to get around destructive removal effects. His when Digivolving, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon for each tamer you have in play. Then up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5000 DP. So it's removal and control. It's such a great card to have. Now moving on to the level 5s, we're continuing on with the Rapidmons. We're going to run 4 of the new EX2 Rapidmon and 3 of the old BT3 Rapidmons. Now the new EX2 Rapidmon is kind of a big aggro piece. His when Digivolving effect, if you have a green tamer in play, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. The EX2 Rapidmon also has an inherited effect that when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gains security attack plus 1. So any of our Gargomon swing, we tap our Henry Tamer, suspend, and now he gets an extra security attack. The old BT3 Rapidmon, again, is a cheap Evo cost, only a 2 cost to Evo to a level 5, so a 2 cost level 5 is great. And his inherited to gain 1000 DP for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon, the same as the old Gargomon effect. And of course we run 1 BT2 Argomon just because the Digisorption effect basically makes him a free Evo, and then his inherited, when attacking you may play 1 level 3 green Digimon card from your hand suspended. And now on to the level 6s. Of course, this wouldn't be a MegaGargomon deck if we're not running MegaGargomon. So we're going to run 4 of the new EX2 MegaGargomon and 2 of the old BT3 MegaGargomon. They're both kind of pricey in their evolutions, but we have ways to kind of reduce their cost. So the new one, when Digivolving, for each green tamer you have in play, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. They don't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Very, very similar to the old BT3, which is when Digivolving, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. It doesn't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. He costs 1 more, but he can get a lot more done if you have enough tamers set up. And he's also a big difference. He's 13k DP, which is a pretty big threshold, whereas the old is only an 11k. Now the other thing he has is when attacking, return 1 of your opponent's suspended Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP to its owner's hand. Now the 2 BT3 MegaGargomons, we talked about the suspension and freeze effect, but it also has a your turn effect of while your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security attack plus 1. So if you stack him on top of the new EX2 Rapidmon, and your opponent has a suspended Digimon, or if you use Henry to suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon, you're swinging for 3 checks. Although it feels more like a control style, they have a lot of aggression built in. We're adding 2 level 7s here, no surprise. We're going to play 2 Chaosmons. Chaosmon is so essential for the D-Reaper matchup. Piercing is great, obviously, kind of inherently green, but his when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, then it can attack your opponent's Digimon. This effect also allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon as well. That's how you get through Reaper. Next, onto our tamers. Now we're running 4 memory tamers, 2 and 2. I'm still dealing with the numbers, but I like all their effects for different situations. So we have Henry here, who again, he's a memory tamer, starts you off at 3, but also your turn, when you attack with a Digimon with Gargomon or Rapidmon in its name, you may suspend this tamer to suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. It doesn't have a level restriction, so any of your opponent's Digimon gets suspended by his effect. And then of course running 2 Mimis. Mimi, again, a classic green memory tamer, and if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend it to either hatch a green egg in an empty space in your breeding area, or move a level 3 or higher Digimon from your breeding area. Now like I said, I'm still teching around with my ratios and numbers. I'm trying out 2 Willises. Willis, on play, you may hatch 1 Digi-Egg in an empty space. Then, your turn, when 1 of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Gargo or Rapid in its name, suspend the tamer to reduce the cost by 1. So having Willis on board helps us turbo up into our MegaGargomon. Alright, now onto option cards. This is where it gets tricky. There's a lot of different options I have tried. and I'm liking so many different ones, so I'm still taking around. I'm of course running one Hidden Potential Discovered. It is such a broken card if it was still at 4. HPD helps us make our new MegaGargomon a 0 cost as long as we have something else on board. So essential card, I think every green deck should run the HPD. It's limited to 1. Next, I'm running 2 green memory boosts to kind of help us cycle through our pieces. And last but not least, I'm running 1 flower cannon and 1 blue card. Originally I was running like 3 flower cannons in the deck, and then I realized, why run so many when Henry does the effect for you? Now in security, flower cannon can be a lifesaver, so that's why I kept 1 in. And then blue card is a very interesting new card that came out in EX02. It states, while you have a tamer in play, you can play this card without meeting its color requirements. Then its main effect is reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You may digivolve one of your Digimon into a non-white Digimon card among them without paying its memory cost. If you don't, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand and place the remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order. Now it says you may digivolve one of your Digimon into one of those cards, or you can use it to just draw a card. And then security effect, you may play 1 tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. That's a very interesting security effect, being able to play a tamer for free off of security. Very interesting effect.
Well, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you can. We're trying to grow the channel. Now, on this personal side note, I know we haven't posted a lot of videos lately. I've been away with some personal issues, but I'm back, and hopefully a few more videos will be in the works. And let us know what other things you want to see in the channel. What did you like about this video? What would you like to see more of going forward? And as always, I'm CK with Valley Boys Digimon TCG. Till next time.